So hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to speak to you today about my experience in the PLDP program and my experience at Johnson & Johnson. So very excited to be here. I discovered the program through my MBA Office of Career Management, and I wasn't, to be honest, really looking at procurement. I really targeted Johnson & Johnson because of the strong culture and basically word of mouth. Everybody told me it was a great company to work for. My background also is in environmental science and sustainability, so that obviously had an impact as well on why I would want to work for a healthcare company, but also Johnson & Johnson specifically because of the credo. J&J was one of the first companies to really put out there this message of corporate social responsibility. So my prior experience before J&J, as I mentioned, was really in that environmental science, biology area, working as a consultant, but I really looked to use my MBA in strategy and marketing as a career shift. So I found the PLDP program and started to think about all of the different aspects of procurement and thought about all the transferable skills that I could bring to the table, and it ended up being a great fit. So for me, I did not do an internship. I was a part-time MBA student, so that's one of the reasons why I came in as a full-time hire. And my first role at Johnson & Johnson was in sustainable procurement. So I led the design and development and implementation of our sustainable procurement program, which Norman alluded to before through his indication of our work through the Health Humanity Report, which is one of the reports that I contributed to as part of that previous role, as well as the Global Citizen, which is an initiative that J&J as an enterprise is working to profoundly change the trajectory of human health and really push action towards this change. So for me, the first role I had was amazing. I can't tell you how exciting it was to be a part of such a big change movement across procurement. We started, as Norman has highlighted, to really embed this notion of being a good corporate citizen, not only internally because it's been part of who we are at J&J for over 75 years, but also to our suppliers as well. So through the Sustainable Procurement Program, we've integrated the standards and processes throughout the procurement function and ultimately increased our participation over 300% with our suppliers, which is really exciting, and it honestly continues to grow. So through that program, I'll jump to my fun fact because it's linked to that program. So through the sustainable procurement work I was doing, I got the distinct honor of representing Johnson & Johnson at the United Nations. So I wanted to highlight this because it just highlights to you the opportunity you can have at Johnson & Johnson to come in and really have drive an impact. So at the UN, we were talking about the role that big companies such as Johnson & Johnson can have on the Sustainable Development Goals and really what procurement and what the supply chain's role is in helping to drive those specific goals, which are extremely aspirational and really impactful to the world community. So that's my fun fact. So jumping to my current role, I currently am the PMO, so that's the Project Management Officer and Strategy Manager for Marketing and Business Services Procurement. So a lot of that is around our enterprise business planning process, as well as really running our portfolio governance solutions. Of course, part of that is really working with the business. So we mentioned the consumer, the medical devices, the pharmaceutical companies that we have, really hearing what their business needs are and making sure we as a procurement function are able to deliver those business needs back to the business. Because at the end of the day, procurement is a function that serves the business. So that's my new focus, although sustainability is still definitely a part of who I am and part of our role because we have done so much to integrate it across the procurement function. So I I think that's a little bit about my roles and responsibilities here at J&J, but I wanted to just take a few minutes. All of this would not be possible if I hadn't come in through the PLDP program. So the PLDP program, I called out three of the specific areas that Norman highlighted, are summits. And this is really an opportunity you get, as Norman indicated, 4 summits throughout your full-time PLDP experience. And I don't know many companies that give such a focus and dedicated time for professional development and networking. It really is a time when you disconnect from your current roles as much as you can and spend time learning about leadership and who you are as a leader, and really putting the development on yourself to become that better, stronger leader across the procurement function. So the summits are truly valuable experiences, and also they're a fantastic way to network and get to know your peers and build up that framework.